Hey up there, how we doing? Just giving Bonneville a bit of a spruce up. I've just finished rebuilding top end on engine and it's time to take it for a test ride. Thought I'd give it a wipe down while the sun's shining before we go and meet Phil and take it for a spin. But while I've got it here, at first glance it looks like a fairly standard Bonneville, but it's far from it when you start taking a closer look. So maybe before we go for a ride, I'll give you a quick walk round and just point out some of the, if you like, subtle modifications that make it look a little bit older than it is as well. It's a 1978 T140V, but obviously somebody's done a subtle customization job on it to make it look more like a 650 TT model. So yeah, let's have a quick walk round and see what you think. Okay, if we start here at the front, if you have a look, about the only thing at the front that I've so far noticed hasn't been touched, modified, are the forks. They're all still fairly standard, but mudguards, front and rear stainless steel, rims alloy with the flange round the edge, stainless steel spokes. Brakes are standard, it's just had the chrome cover removed from the brake caliper there. Cut it back to basics a little bit. Not sure of the origin of the headlamp, but again, non-standard. Brackets, a combination of aftermarket and homemade. If we move on up, I've recently replaced the bars. These are a bend that Ace Classics do, a desert sled style handlebar, which I thought suited the bike better than it had some US spec bars, but they were higher than the standard Triumph US spec, export spec bars. I wasn't that keen on them, so I decided I was going to swap them for these from Ace Classics, and so far they're looking alright. We'll see how they feel when we ride it. Okay, moving on round, as you can see, the instruments, we've got quite a decent oil pressure gauge there, and I've fitted a GPS activated speedo, nice and neat, small. The beauty of the speedo is it's just got wires going to it. There's no speedo cable going down to the front wheel, which was great, or to the back wheel as it is on some of the classic British bikes. No cables, low maintenance, keeps everything simple and light. Okay, if we move on, the fuel tank, I'm not sure if the fuel tank's a reproduction or if it's the original. It's very clean inside, so I'm suspecting it's either a new old stock one or it's an aftermarket one. Been painted in a Triumph style, but not in a typical Triumph colour scheme. Quite a nice paint job, deep paint. Unfortunately, when I bought the bike, it's got a couple of chips at the front, but they're hardly noticeable when the tank's on the bike. The bike, I bought it via a popular auction site, but it had been re-imported from America. Originally it was sold in California, and most of the work that's been done to it was done by whoever had owned it out there. At some point they'd blown the engine. The guy that brought it into this country did a rebuild on the engine. Not a very good rebuild, to be honest, because last year I was having problems with oil leaks from the rocker boxes around the top end. So over the winter, and I'll include some pictures in the video, I stripped down the top end and we honed the barrels, put new gaskets in. It looked like the reason that it had been leaking oil was some badly repaired threads that had been stripped on the rocker boxes, and the inserts that the guy that rebuilt the engine had used were standing proud of the mating surface, so I was never going to get an oil tight seal. Okay, Amel Mark 1 concentrics with pod filters. When I got it, it had got cane ends that kept falling off. These are much better, look a lot neater. And as you can see, it's got the TT style exhaust, as the Americans called it, that runs close and tight under the engine. There are some small baffles in those pipes, as when I first got it, it was very, very loud, especially considering you sat right over the exit for the exhaust. Okay, moving round the seat. We're not sure of the origin of the seat, so again, obviously not on standard Triumph, but quite a neat looking seat, calf racer style seat, and reasonably comfortable. Again, you know, rear wheel, got the alley rims, stainless spokes, which, yeah, it could do with a clean at the moment, which is what I'm on with, but makes keeping the bike looking neat and shiny a lot easier. And again, the stainless steel mudguards. So yeah, if I just step back and let you have a look at the bike as she sits there, I think you'll agree, quite a tidy looking machine. I like it. So okay, I'm going to let you look at a few photos that I did of the engine rebuild while I go and get my kit on, and then we'll go meet up with Phil and take her for a spin. Catch you all later. Thank you. joys of owning classic bikes, eh? We got home eventually, but as you've seen from the video, a little bit of an incident with the clutch cable deciding to give up the ghost. Luckily Phil had a cable repair kit with him, and we managed to bodge something together that would get us home. And here we are, fresh from the ride. How did it go? Well, I think you'll see from the video, performed reasonably well. We're still taking it steady. I do want to try and run the bike in, even though we only had the barrels honed rather than bored. I want to bed the rings in and get the barrels bedded in reasonably properly, so that we don't have it burning oil again and we don't have the oil leaks again. So, and first impressions are, don't know if you can see from that, but it's all looking fairly neat and clean. No major oil leaks, nothing dripping anywhere. I've had drip tape that I've just put underneath there so we can monitor it for the next few days, and just see if we do get any oil starting to seep through. It's an old Triumph. It's hard work making them oil tight at the best of times, but we'll see how well we've done. I am the Barnsley Biker. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you. Bye.